PK in the universe, and I am back again. I'm here with a little bit of a rant video. I want to go on a bit of a rant here about retro gaming niche communities. I'm mostly specifically talking about specific niches. So it's a niche within a niche because retro gaming in itself is pretty niche, though it's gotten a lot more wide, and mainstream ever since, stuff like the NES Classic came out, and retro gaming, virtual console stuff and, the Nintendo Online service and all the great, collections and compilations of retro old games have made retro gaming, popular amongst people and have gotten more people into the original hardware and different emulation options. So I wanted to talk about some of these groups, some of these fandoms, and they're kind of doing some things that are kind of off to me, and I wanted to talk about that. And it's what inspired this video was a Canadian gamer recently posted a little tweet, and you can tell he's doing feelers, he's kind of trolling a little bit, just goofing on people, and about the Mr. FPGA. And these people got crazy on him, honestly. Some people just, some people had just were, you could tell, knew he was trolling. Some people were in on the joke, and then some people were just like, how dare you do this? Okay, how dare you give this, uninformed opinion? And it was an uninformed opinion, no doubt. But at the same time, a lot of us could tell it's like, he's just, messing with these people. And they took it really to heart. And, this isn't the first time that he's, ruffled people's feathers. He made a video about Evercade, a while back. He's made many videos about Evercade. And, and he gives me a hard time about it. He trolls me. I troll him right back. It's just all in good fun. We're just messing around. But these people just took it so seriously. And it got me thinking about, these retro gaming niche fandoms and what they're doing. Is it good what they're doing? Is correcting people all the time a good thing? And the answer is, well, it depends really on the person, depends on what the situation is. I think it's okay to, if somebody's having a genuine discussion and wants to know more information or maybe has something wrong, it's okay to maybe tell them, hey, what is actual fact and reality? Not what your personal preference is, not what your passion is, but what's an actual fact and reality. Like, Evercade does not just have old games, they have indie games. Okay, that's a fact. Nobody can dispute that or refute that. But these people who, are trying to beat people over the head with their fandom, that just doesn't work, honestly. In fact, it hurts whatever product you have. There's a lot of people out there who just want to explain themselves. They want to explain and justify their purchase to people they don't even know. You're justifying and explaining your purchase to strangers on the internet. And it's kind of a weird thing. It's kind of a weird thing when you really think about it, when you really stop and reflect. Being a grown man in their 30s and 40s, being like, well, this is what I love, and ha ha ha, and you don't understand. It's like, this isn't console wars, guys. I mean, you're just sitting there trying to justify your purchase, and it's so weird. Who cares if this person doesn't like it? Just enjoy it, play it, love it, do your thing. Who cares if Canadian Gamer doesn't want Mr. and just wants to play on original hardware? Who cares if he's passionate about 6th and 7th gen? That doesn't mean he couldn't enjoy Mr. It just means he has other preferences. I mean, he's a guy who plays Outrun, and does speed runs and stuff on the speedrun.com and whatnot. Him and Master System Marceau both do those speed runs, as I talked about in a previous video. There's just these people, you don't have to justify your purchases to anybody. It's kind of ridiculous when you really stop and reflect and think about it. And here's the thing. Here's why you shouldn't do it. One, you don't know. Sometimes people are trolling. Some people are just, goofing on you and you don't even realize it. So it's important to read the room. See what other people are replying with. How the person who made the YouTube video is replying to these people, or if he's replying to them at all. Or make sure to read that pinned comment. That's really important, to read the pinned comment before you reply, because he may very well have already addressed that. It's like, and there's some people who genuinely just don't know what they're talking about. And then sometimes, people are just messing around. You don't know what people are doing all the time. So it's important to be able to read the room on something like that. You also got to think about you as a fan. If you're a super enthusiastic, passionate fan, are you going too far? Sometimes people go too far. Sometimes people are so passionate and so enthusiastic that people who are on the outside looking in feel like this person's trying to sell them on something. So it's important you are careful with how you talk about, games and the game system you're very passionate about, because I think people can see your passion, but if it feels like you're being sold something, then people just think you're a shill. And nobody wants to be accused of being a shill or called a shill for the most part. I talk about, that's why I always focus with Evercade. I always focus on the games. I always say it's all about the games. I like these games and I think this is a good way to play these games. Otherwise, I wouldn't care about the Evercade. I don't care if people have the handheld or the portable, EXP that's coming out soon. It got delayed again, I guess, recently, or the VS, or just want to play those games on the other hardware that it's on, whether it's the NES or whether it's on their PC, through itch.io or whatever. At the end of the day, for me, it's all about video games. I like video games. This isn't complicated. I always try to talk about if this game was available on other things too, because I understand that not everyone in my audience has an Evercade. And at the end of the day, I'm here to talk about video games. And some people, though, man, they take it, they get so caught up in the system, it's all about the system for them or the company. And that's something you got to be careful of. But at the end of the day, you shouldn't be explaining yourself. You shouldn't need to explain yourself. This product, whatever you're talking about, whatever you're passionate about, it should stand on its own merits. You never have to explain why you're enthusiastic. You either are, you are, well, you don't have to explain to yourself to random people who probably would never have a cup of coffee with you about why you're so enthusiastic about something. Be enthusiastic about something, but you don't have to sell a product on something. Again, the product speaks for itself. Something like Mister, has a very enthusiastic, passionate group of people. And some of these people can be a little overzealous. I've seen it. I've seen people just get so worked up, whether it's on Twitter or whether it's, I guess apparently people posted Canadian Gamers video in the Discord or whatever. That's how you've ruffled people's feathers, when somebody in a Discord posts your video on it, from Twitter or YouTube or whatever they came across it. Not you posting it personally, but somebody else posted it and were like, what are your hot takes on this, everybody? And then they come out your video, and that's how it goes, But if you really genuinely don't like this person's video, the worst thing you can do is give it more attention, honestly. If you genuinely don't like the video or you don't like their opinion or hot take. I've been on YouTube for 9 years. 9 years. And most of my success on YouTube has come in the last year. Like, no joke. I've gained more subscribers this year than any other year. I have more watch time on my YouTube videos this year than I did in the previous 8 years combined. I was really just spinning my wheels. And I'll tell you right now. But why am I telling you that? Am I here to brag about something? No. I'm telling you this because as a YouTuber, one of the toughest things to deal with as a YouTuber is when people don't watch your videos. When people don't care. When people don't give a crap about your videos. That is a worse feeling than people coming in and being mean to you or correcting you on your videos. It's like the attention is good. The idea of making YouTube videos is to get views. Nobody wants to admit that, but that's reality. As a YouTuber, I want people to see my work and enjoy it, or give me opinions on what they think about my opinions. It's not a one-way street. This is a two-way conversation. Some people wish it was only a one-way conversation and they could just give their opinion, but we have a comment section. People could just shut the comment section off. But people don't want that. People who are YouTubers, they want people, for the most part, to view their videos and to comment. So if you really don't like what somebody has done, the best thing you can do is, not comment on it and just go about your day. But most people don't want to do that. They got to be like, fight with people, And I think it's not a good thing to do, because if you really care about this product, whether it's a Mister, whether it's an Evercade or whatever, you want people who are, maybe looking at it and you're in some way a representation of that fandom. Intentionally or unintentionally. They might be like, oh, that's how all the Evercade owners are. That's how, PK, he said something. It'd be like, if I was real hostile with somebody who didn't like Evercade, and just hated it, there's different ways to approach people. I've approached people probably different ways, good and bad, but I think overall, yeah, you got to be careful of what you say, because, you may not be a official representative of it, but you know what I noticed? There's a lot of different products I've seen where it's like, oh, that's a cool product, but then the fandom is just really weird or odd or out of it, and just is what like, cares way too much about what other people think, and will get really angry at even a lukewarm take on a certain product. So you got to be careful about that sort of thing overall. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird deal. Like I think the Mister kind of seems pretty cool. I would definitely want to get one, but I totally agree with CG's one take about how it's very expensive. It's not a $200 thing. It's like $600 now. It's like we're talking, Xbox One X money or, a pretty decent PC money. So I get it, from that perspective alone, that it's too expensive. It is a huge cost of entry. Obviously, you could save a lot of money in the long run, sure. And you would save more money than you would from buying all these old consoles. And you could say the same thing about Evercade. It has a lot of cool games from old consoles that you don't have to buy. But obviously, Mister is very different because you can plug in just about anything you want, and you can hook it up to a CRT or you can hook it up to an HD TV. It's got a lot of options for sure. But overall, yeah, I'm kind of like, these fandoms need to just calm down and chill. I mean, stay classy. Be a classy person. If you don't agree with somebody, cool. More power to you. I totally understand that. And you have every right to tell somebody you don't agree with them. But if you feel like they're a troll and they're just trying to get attention and you're giving them attention, it's kind of ironic, and you shouldn't do that, if you don't want to give them attention. Because whatever YouTuber, no matter who they are, at the end of the day, they want to be seen. They want to be heard. That's just how it is. That's what YouTube is. It's not just, someone posting a tweet. It's somebody making an actual video and putting themselves out there and telling you the truth, or what they see is the truth. And everybody has their own story. And that's why a lot of people comment, is because they want to tell their story. They want to tell their perspective, their point of view. And I get that. But at the same time, if you really are genuinely angry at a person and they're a YouTuber who, obviously all YouTubers are kind of just looking for attention in some way, shape, or form, whether it be negative or positive attention, and you give them that attention, it's kind of ironic and silly. And that's just my hot take about all that. So I know I've kind of really went on here for quite a bit. So yeah, what are you guys' thoughts about these retro gaming niches? A niche within a niche within a niche, or whatever you want to call it. How do you guys feel about, when you see people getting hostile with other people just because they have a different opinion about a piece of plastic? Comment below. Love to hear what you have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay awesome in this universe. Thanks. Bye.